Hello everyone, my name is Cheryl and welcome to Pinay Abroad. Today I'll be discussing the Balikbayan privilege. Now, if you are a Balikbayan, going back to the Philippines, it would be useful if you know the information I'll be parting with you today. Now, one thing that you should do or make sure that you do before you go back to the Philippines is check your passport. Now, this is my passport. I'm still a Filipino citizen, so my passport or my Philippine passport is a maroon brown color. So, if you check your passport, make sure that your passport is valid for the next six months. Now, my passport expires on November 17 of 2015. So, since today's date is June 28th of 2014, I'm still far off from that date. Now, if you happen to have a passport that's not valid for the next 6 months or the next 6 months to the dot or more from your departure date, I really do suggest that you obtain a new passport or an extended, or have your passport extended or amended, or depending on what rule your country will have. Now, since I went back to the Philippines last year, it was a little troublesome for me to actually research the things that I need to know, since I'll be traveling with my son, my family with me, and I was going to stay in the Philippines or in the country for the next close to 6 months. So I really had to make sure that my son will be allowed to stay for that long with me. Now, if you are a Balikbayan, I really do suggest that you take note of the date that I recorded this video, which is June 28th of 2014, and make sure that you check the website that I'll be providing on the description boxes below, or the information and links that I'll be providing in the description box below, to make sure that everything is up to speed and current for your situation if you happen to see this in a much later time. Now, what is a Balikbayan? By the description of the Philippine Bureau of Immigration, a Filipino is a Balikbayan is a Filipino citizen who has been continuously out of the country for a period of at least 1 year. And in my case, I believe I was out of the country for pretty much that long. And and a Filipino overseas worker also goes under this description of a Balikbayan, and any former Filipino citizen. And basically, if you were a Filipino citizen and you swore allegiance to another country, that pretty much makes you a Balikbayan. Now, another thing that you should make sure that you have with you is your NSO Authenticated Birth Certificate, if you happen to have another kind of passport or another country's passport, because that's the only way you can prove that you are a Filipino citizen. Not to mention, it will be helpful if you still have your old passport. So those two will be your short card that to prove to the immigration officer, especially if you're staying in the Philippines for a long time, more than a month, that you are a Filipino citizen and you can avail the Balikbayan program. So basically, Balikbayan program can be availed by you if you happen to fall to the description that I have said previously, and to any of your family members, meaning your spouses and children, can avail of this privilege. Now, basically, it entitles you to stay in the country for a year or so, especially my former Filipino friends out there who are Balikbayans by terminology now. Stay in the country for a year. That means if you happen to have just a regular non-Filipino or non-Philippine passport, you will not be subjected to the country's immigration or visa laws under Executive Order 408. And don't be worried if you're just staying there for a week or so, because if you read the Executive Order 408, I will put the link on the description box here below. If you check there, there's about 151 countries that can stay, whose passport holders of that country can stay in the Philippines for a period of 30 days in the Philippines, pretty much. Because in their description, basically, I'm not sure if this is just a loophole or just, you know, sure shift, whatnot, but just in case there's a technicality that should happen to you while you're in the Philippines, they will permit you to stay well over 30 days after your return ticket or slash your next destination's ticket. So if that makes sense, or would you, if you want to double check on that fact, please click on the link below that I'll be sharing below. Now, also, since I was traveling with my son last year and we pretty much stayed for 6 months, like I said, you have to make sure that you obtain a particular stamp. This stamp, like I mentioned, it allows you and your family to stay there for more than a month, or whatever visa executive order country applies, visa applies to you. So this is what it looks like. So if you're staying there for more than a month, and if you are, you know, part of the countries listed in Executive Order 408, and some of the countries listed there, or passport holders that are listed there, can only stay for a week, a maximum of a week, and some of them can stay for about 59 days. And passport holder, that means the 59 days applies for passport holders of Israel and Brazil. So if you want to extend more than that, you have to make sure when you go in with your Balikbayan family to ask for this particular visa stamp. This stamp alone allows you to stay there for a year, as long as you're traveling with your Filipina or Filipino Balikbayan family member. So basically, yeah, that's about it, and hope this video was informational for you guys. If you have questions, I will try to answer them as soon as I can and as much as I could, because like I said, I am just a Filipina who traveled back into the Philippines recently, and I want you to have the most pleasant experience in the Philippines. So hopefully it's helpful, and I'll try to be helpful if you have any questions about it. And please, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any more comments, suggestions, reactions about the topic that I've discussed today, please feel free to put them in the comments area below. And I hope you have a very pleasant stay and enjoy your stay in the Philippines. Mabuhay and bye!